Hello, my name's Angela, and I wanted to bring to you the top three hidden causes of mood imbalances when you are dealing with symptoms of hormone imbalance as a female. I find mood imbalance symptoms are so common, especially as you get to the age of 35 and beyond. The hormones start to fluctuate more. Estrogen and progesterone are primary sex hormones as females. And I find most commonly we do equate this to these changes. And what I have found from both myself and working with hundreds and hundreds of females over the years as a women's health practitioner is that it's not actually the hormones that are the main cause of the problem. Hormones are a trigger. They help to signal us, communicate to our body and our brain that something is out of balance, but they typically aren't the main root cause of the problem. So I'm going to reveal to you now the three root causes of mood imbalance symptoms that I have seen so commonly in my practice. And one of those is imbalances in your gut. So when we're talking about mood, what typically helps to keep our moods calm and regulated are our neurotransmitters. And neurotransmitters are chemical signalers or messengers, and they are produced primarily in the gut. And so these ones, such as serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine, if these are out of balance, our moods will be too. So it's actually not going to matter for us if we have our hormones balanced and regulated, if our neurotransmitters are out of balance. We're still going to feel moody. So it's really important and essential that we learn how to rebalance our gut so that these neurotransmitters can be produced in optimal levels for us, especially as our hormones are fluctuating and changing as females. And so, what are some ways that we can do this? One of the main ways to help us with gut regulation is to make sure that we're having daily bowel movements, so once to twice a day. And how do we make this happen? It's really important that we're eating enough fiber. It's also important that we're bringing in enough water. So I usually say 3 to 4 liters or 1 to 1.5 gallons a day of water is necessary to help us with this process, as well as making sure that we're bringing in at least 10 to 14 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And this may seem like a lot, but also making sure we're bringing in healthy nuts and seeds, things such as flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds. All of these things are going to help us have regular bowel movements. And this really helps to regulate our gut. It helps to make sure that our gut bacteria is balanced. It helps to control and manage inflammation. And it really allows for those cell walls in our gut to produce neurotransmitters, which helps to regulate our brain and regulate our moods. So it sounds a bit complex, but it's really not. And it's absolutely essential. Our gut is also one of our main hormone processing centers, especially for estrogen. So we need our gut to be balanced. We need the inflammation to be balanced for this process to happen as well. And we need to be having regular bowel movements. Another hidden cause of mood imbalance that I have found so common, especially in females in this age group, is stress. And so often what happens when we're under stress, it can be from so many different things in life. It can be just the busyness of everyday life, running around, working, trying to take care of your home, get all of the meals and the groceries in the house. There might be stress from relationship challenges. It could be at work, it could be at home, or a combination of things. Could be some bigger life stressors. Maybe you have a family member or more that is sick. Maybe you have some previous life stressors or trauma that's actually still weighing on you now emotionally. So there's just so many different things and avenues and angles that stress can come at us. But I find what happens commonly when we have high levels of stress, which seems to be more common in this age group than any other age that I have worked with, is that our adrenals get out of balance. And our adrenals are what produce our primary stress hormone, cortisol. And so, as cortisol becomes too high or out of balance, this actually can promote inflammation and also even blood sugar imbalances in our body. And so, this does not allow our moods and our hormones to be regulated properly if we have high levels of cortisol. It again shuts down that ability of our gut to produce neurotransmitters in optimal levels. And the end result will be mood imbalances, irritability, anger, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, all very common when our moods are out of balance. Our neurotransmitters are out of balance, more so than our sex hormones. So, some ways to get around this and start to lower our stress. The obvious would be to try and take some things off your plate. Try not to be doing everything for everyone all the time. Take away those extras. Really strip it down to the basics if you feel like you're under a lot of stress. If this isn't necessarily possible, you really need to make sure you have good stress resilience and good stress management techniques. So I find structuring in time to breathe, Structuring in time to takes a little bit of time to yourself, even if it's 5, 10, 15 minutes once or twice a day to ground yourself, as well as doing some grounding yoga or meditation or a combination of the two. Very, very helpful for helping you regulate and manage stress. And again, the ideal is that you have some ways to start lowering stress when you really take a look at where all of your stress could be coming from. And this will do wonders for your mood, probably also for your sleep. One other thing that I find is so commonly out of balance is blood sugar levels. So often our blood sugars, our insulin levels are elevated as females. And again, this can happen from things such as even just being under stress, but more commonly, it's also related to our adrenals being under pressure and our cravings for sugar when this happens. And so often we're eating sugar in too high of an amount. We're eating processed packaged foods that elevate our blood sugars, and we may or may not be aware of this. This elevates inflammation. It doesn't allow our hormones to be processed properly. And it also, again, doesn't allow those neurotransmitters to be produced in our gut in optimal levels if the gut is inflamed. So it's absolutely essential that we get our blood sugars under control and balanced. What are some ways to do this? Of course, the ideal would be to take away all the obvious sweet, sugary foods, so treats, desserts, candy, things like that, sweet drinks. But sometimes, again, there's hidden sugars in so many things, even things like pasta sauce that you buy at the store or crackers. They often have sugar as an added ingredient. So we really need to be label reading at the store because there's hidden sugar in almost everything in a box. And then beyond this, the other thing we need to do is make sure we're bringing in enough fiber. So back to one of the things that also helps the gut, because this will help us to regulate our blood sugar balance and it will actually make us crave less sugar throughout the day. So again, all of those same things that you could use to help with increasing fiber intake for gut balance, you can also use this for blood sugar for blood sugar rebalancing. So I hope this gives you some tips and some ideas as to how you could start to get the balance back naturally with your mood symptoms without necessarily having to turn to things like medications or hormone treatments that may or may not be helpful for you over the short term or the long term. And often some of these other treatments, when the medication is involved, can come with side effects, whereas these natural lifestyle changes do not. And so I hope you feel this is helpful. I hope that if you feel like you want more assistance to learn how you can rebalance your moods and your hormones, that you feel free to contact me through my website at www.angelasimpsonfunctionalmedicine.ca for a free complimentary consult for 45 minutes. Because I would look forward to speaking with you, learning about your health issues, and how we could figure out how to find a solution to help you optimize your wellness again. So thanks again for watching and take care.